The Ogun State Governor, Prince Abeokuta, has instructed the contractor handling Songo Toll Gate Road in Abeokuta local government to expedite work to put an end to the hardship being faced by the people on the road, as he expressed dissatisfaction over the pace of work. Governor Abeokuta gave this instruction during the inspection of the road and Songo Under Bridge, Ijoko, Alagbole, Yakoyo Road in Abeokuta local government as a follow-up on his visit a fortnight ago. The governor also announced the construction of the Ijoko Akute Road in 5 phases. Matthew Shomi completes the report.
This after his last visit to Songo toll gates and other end of Lagos Abeokuta Express Road, Ogun State Governor Prince Abeokuta back again to keep track of the developments in line with his promise to take up the responsibility of the fair portions of the road if the federal government refuses to commence the construction after 2 weeks. The people of the area were delighted to receive the governor as his administration finally brings succor and deliver them from the harrowing experience they face on the road with negative impact on their socio-economic activities.
Once you get to Lagos boundary between Ogun State, you feel you are comfortable. But once if you are coming, you leave Lagos State, you enter problem. Then at Abule Roko there, the place is populated. It's highly populated. There's no good road.
We should please be a little bit be patient and allow the government to continue their good work.
Governor Abeokuta said he can no longer wait on the federal government while his people suffer on the road every day and called on the contractor handling the restoration work to get down to work immediately, as no excuse will be entertained in speedily putting the road back in good shape.
Right now, I am constructing roads in every one of our 20 local governments. That is the first time this happening in Ogun State. Shubon, ETA is extremely important to us as a state and to me as your governor. That is why I'm here today. First of all, this ETA, Abeokuta Road.
The governor then proceeded for the inspection of the totally damaged portion of the Ijoko Road that has now been fixed, where he also promised the donation of 15 transformers to improve power supply in the area.
The indigents, the youth, the women were very unhappy. So was I. I promised them that this place will be reconstructed within 2 weeks. And I've come back here today to ensure that the promise we made then has been kept. And you can see that the atmosphere is different. It's a much more conducive atmosphere. People are extremely happy.
The inspection also took him to Ijoko end of Songo Ijoko Alagbole Akute Road, where he assured the people of phased construction of the totally collapsed road. Matthew Shomi, OGTV News.
Ogun State government is to commence reconstruction and rehabilitation of various roads requiring government intervention in Ota area of Ogun State. Ogun State Governor Prince Abeokuta made this declaration during the Thanksgiving service for the 180th anniversary of the advent of Christianity in Awori land held at Cathedral Church of St. James, Ikpate Oyinbo, Ota. Governor Abeokuta used the opportunity to call on the church to focus on preaching peaceful electoral process and coexistence. Again, Matthew Shomi completes the report.
180 years after Christianity arrived in Awori land, Ogun State Governor Prince Abeokuta has joined the people to celebrate the growth of the gospel of Christ and advancements of the work of God. Prince Abeokuta said Awori land has been able to take advantage of early contact with Christianity to build a foremost community in the state and home of industries, while preaching total adherence to God's commandments in building a great society.
Saying that the church as an organ of socialization is always ever relevant. For this reason, the church is enjoined to work harder in its responsibilities by condemning the use of violence by individuals or groups to seek redress. Lessons should be learned from the various violent situations in the country which have resulted in unnecessary loss of lives and properties. These would have hitherto contributed immensely to the socio-economic development of our nation.
The governor used the occasion to make some pronouncements on the conditions of some roads in the area.
The Abeokuta road, despite the reluctance of the federal government after so many attempts to have them transfer their roads to both Lagos State and Ogun State, we have decided to begin to reconstruct that road, prioritizing the worst areas of the road. However, I've charged the council chairman of this local government to populate all the roads that require palliative works, and I'm going to send our Ogun State Road Maintenance Agency from next week to resume the water fully and begin to carry out palliative.
Bishop of Awori Central of African Church, Right Reverend Sam Akin Bamishelu, giving his message on the theme, imitate their faith, stressed the need for today's Christian to learn from the examples of the early faithful.
Brotherly love continues, no discrimination. And let everybody preach Christ to them. That is what Paul is saying here. And don't forget, in John chapter 15:17, Christ said, this command I give you, love one another. So if you love, they will know that surely you belong to Christ, because Christ loved everybody, both the high and the mighty.
The occasion was used to honor Olota of Ota, Oba Abdulkabir Obalanlege, whose birthday falls on the day. Matthew Shoumi, OGTV News.
Soccer will soon come the way of residents and commuters along the Ijayi-Okejigbo Ikporoake-Isanleake Road in Abeokuta South Local Government of Ogun State, as reconstruction of the road is set to begin in the next 2 weeks. The Ogun State Governor, Prince Dakwa Abiodun, made this known during an on-the-spot assessment of the road, acknowledging the importance of the road to the economic life of residents and the state in general. Benga Dekoya was at the road corridor to gauge the feelings of the people following the cheering news.
A busy weekend it was for the Ogun State Governor, Prince Dakwa Abiodun, who went round the state for on-the-spot assessment of some areas, which include, but not limited, to the impassable Ijayi-Okejigbo Ikporoake-Isanleake Road, to see for himself the state of the road.
Be rest assured that I have come here, I've seen for myself, like they say, seeing is believing. This road is totally non-existent. But I assure you, in the next 2 weeks, works will start on the total rehabilitation and reconstruction of this road.
For the people of the area, it was a good Saturday that brought about the long-awaited cheering news. Samuel Olonode, an indigene of Abeokuta who resides in Okejigbo, said the road has been in a deplorable state for the past 12 years, thanking the Ogun State Governor, Prince Dakwa Abiodun, for promising to reconstruct the road.
The businesses here are not moving. I must confess to you, we have our own shopping complex there. People are now moving out of this area, you understand, as a result of bad road. So this has been so, this has been so awkward and it has been so terrible for us here in this environment. So anytime rain falls, you see erosion here and there, you see potholes, you understand, accommodating the water, and it is very bad.
Madam Madinat Adeshokon and Mrs. Oluwaronke Onodeko are both businesswomen plying their petty trade along the road, while sharing their experiences in the last 10 years, said it has not always been easy for them conveying their goods to their shops due to the bad state of the road.
Right from Ijayi Junction to Okejigbo side, there is an issue with it. The road is not good. It's very, very bad. And it's disturbing the business. It's making the business to slow down.
People should learn to appreciate this kind of a person. This is the first time you will see a governor that will complete the abandoned project. He's the only one. I have not seen it in my whole political career in the entire nation. Dapo is just the only governor that did that.
Ijayi Okejigbo Ikoroake Isaliake is an important link road that, when completed, will not only improve business activities in the area, but as well allow easy access to some notable ancient Abeokuta communities like Wasimiake, Ilogbo, Ijemo Agbadu, Okejeun, among others. A busy weekend it was for the...
After over 20 years of inaccessibility to public power supply, traders at both Lafenwa Sawmill and Market in Abeokuta can now heave a sigh of relief with the installation of transformers in the two places by the Ogun State government. Aderonke Adeyemi was part of the inspection of the two transformers. Her report.
For over 20 years, there was no public power supplies to this area. But the governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, promised to end this travail in 60 days, and he did, with the installment of two transformers. Lafenwa Market, one of Abeokuta South local government's biggest markets, has been ushered into a new era by the Ministry of Special Duty, spearheading and providing the market and its environs with transformers placed in strategic places in the market for the day-to-day operations, with one transformer at the market and the other at the sawmill in Lafenwa. The people's plight, the past years have now come to an end.
We've been facing some challenges, especially in terms of diesel, because we didn't have light for the past 22 years back. And my members, we used to buy diesel to power generator, which we are using.
It is visible the market takes place on the street of Lafenwa, and this is solely on the fact that there is no light in the market, and also the buying and selling have to stop around 6 p.m.
They then expressed their appreciation to the present administration for this intervention.
Abiodun has shown us that he will fulfill all his promises, and I'm so happy because the transformer has been delivered.
We are very grateful for our governor, His Excellency Prince Dapo Abiodun MFR, for the gift that he gave us in terms of transformer. And we are very happy, we are very appreciative of his effort.
Senior Special Advisor to Ogun State Governor on Special Duties, Olaniji Adedapo Aishida, assured residents that the administration will not relent in its efforts at empowering the grassroots.
For somewhere that has so much enterprise, it's unbelievable, and by the special grace of God, we have intervened. The governor has promised and he has delivered.
Besides the transformer installation, the special advisor also had a meeting with the various associations in attendance to listen to their various requests for further intervention. Aderonke Adeyemi, OGTV News.
A gross surplus of 614,775,035 naira and 14 kobo has been shared amongst the 20 local governments of Ogun State for the month of August 2022. The State Commissioner for Finance and Chief Economic Advisor to the Governor, Chief Dapo Okubadijo, stated this at the August 2022 Joint Allocation Account Committee meeting held at the Obas Complex, Abeokuta. Fowora Adesonwo reports that the surplus was shared after all first-line charges. His report.
A new vista. August 22 Joint Allocation and Account Committee meeting had raised many hope and expectations. The Accountant General of Ogun State, Tunde Aregbesola, while breaking down the allocation from the federal government, says after all first-line charges, the 20 local governments still have over 600 million naira to share.
In our recent practice, we recognize the total inflow of 4.6 billion, and we have to deduct all our first-line charges as listed out and as agreed to read out.
The leadership of Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees and Nigerian Union of Teachers applaud the development.
We want to thank the Almighty God that we are having it better for the first time, having a surplus of more than 600 million naira.
This time around, I think we have a kind of increase, though it's not even much more enough, but then it is more than fair than what has been coming in the past. But this time around, after all distributions, statutory distributions to all areas concerned,
the Odofin of Soido, Oba Lasisi Gisonri, and Obiri of Ayekwe, Oba Okubanjo, commended Prince Dapo Abiodun administration for being transparent with the local government fund. The Ogun State Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Honorable Ganiu Abzat, in his inaugural speech to the JAC meeting, encouraged council chairmen to support his ministry.
We have surplus, so to say. But that notwithstanding, I think it is important for our chairmen to concentrate more on the internally generated revenue so that they don't rely solely on what comes from the federal account. But having said that, it is also important that they make use of the funds that are available judiciously.
The chairman of Association of Local Government in Ogun State, Honorable Tunde Gazal, stressed the need for local government chairmen to support the new Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs as they had done with his predecessor, Adefowora Adesonwo, OGTV News.
Still ahead, court stops President Buhari NBC from revoking licenses of 52 broadcasting stations. Details and other reports after this time. Academic staff of universities also embarked on the strike on February 14, 2022. It had then declared a 4-week warning strike, but after a month, the lecturers extended it by 8 weeks, saying the government needs more time to look at its demands. Following the federal government and lecturers' inability to reach a resolution, the union on May 9 further extended the strike by 12 weeks. The university teachers are seeking improved welfare, the revitalization of public universities, and academic autonomy, among others. Several meetings between government representatives and ASU have ended in deadlock. One of such was held about 2 weeks ago with the Professor Nimi Briggs Committee at the National University Commission, NUC, in Abuja. The Ogun State government has commenced a vocational training scheme to help advance trainees in modern development and reduce the level of insecurity and unemployment in the state. Sukomi Adewumi has the details.
Due to the lack of entrepreneurial training and scarcity of artisans, especially in construction, the Ogun State government has commenced a vocational training scheme in Ijebu-Ode, Remo, Ayetoro, and Abeokuta. Professor Joseph Sunday Odemuyiwa, the special advisor to the governor on technical and vocational education, who represented the Ogun State governor, opened the training and gave the importance of the scheme and its effectiveness in combating unemployment in the state.
Of course, the essence of skill development is to solve the problem of unemployment and this menace of insecurity in the society. But we found out that it is not that we don't have skilled artisans in the society, but so many of them don't really know how to put what they have learned into commercialization. And a way to do that is to get them developed entrepreneurially.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Ideas Center in Shagamu, Dada Olusegun, stated that the essence of the infrastructure is to help the people, and the training would help advance the trainees as the vocational skills keep evolving.
The program specifically is to raise employment in Ogun State, and the best way to raise employment is by targeting the informal sector. Just think about it, where in Nigeria we have about 43 million informal or micro businesses in Nigeria. Just think of maybe 25% of those ones, which is about 10 million, having the ability to employ one more person. That's 10 million people employed all of a sudden.
Comrade Fashino Akorede, the representative of the Cobbler and Leather Artisan Corporation of Nigeria, Kalan, also appreciated the government's efforts.
And I look forward to, see the outcome of this capacity building to be a kind of building that will help mostly the artisans.
Trainees also gave thanks to the government and shared their expectations on the scheme.
I can thank the government that make this fund available to us. That if the government we can improve our work. So I thank government that make this available for us.
The training comes with a difference and will no doubt help artisans scale up their works.
This is an opportunity being provided by the government to boost artisan skills.
The acquisition of vocational skills is pivotal in ensuring economic growth of any society, and this training program, according to them, will improve the standard of living of the people of Ogun State. Sunkomi Adewumi, OGTV News.
Cooperative managers, accounting officers, and other cooperative professionals have been charged to break new grounds by joining hands together to protect and promote the development of cooperative services in Ogun State. Assistant Director of Cooperative Services, Ogun State, Mr. Sherif Animashaw, gave this charge during a one-day seminar and workshop training organized by Ogun State Cooperative Managers Association, Egba Zone at Ogoluwa Multipurpose Hall, Elite Road, Idiaba, Abeokuta. Our reporter, Kumishola Shokoya, has the details in this package.
The importance of learning and continuous training cannot be overemphasized, and it is in light of these that the cooperative professionals converge to trade ideas, thoughts and views on accounting guidelines and principles at the 6th annual seminar and workshop organized by the Ogun State Cooperative Managers Association, Oxcomas, Egba Zone. Assistant Director of Cooperative Services, Ogun State, Mr. Sherif Animashaw, praised the contribution of the cooperative managers to the state and also encouraged them to do more in taking the cooperative services to the next level.
Part of the principles of cooperation is that there should be training, information, and then some other things that go along with it, so that the capacity, the proficiency, the expertise of cooperators, managers, leaders can be enhanced.
The president of Ogun State Cooperative Federation Limited, Oxcofed, Alhaji Wasiu Olaleye, said since the world is now in a digital era, cooperative managers must be heavily involved in capacity building by exposing their minds to technology-inclined solutions on accounting.
The whole world is becoming a global village, and we need to gather our data aggressively now, so that we'll be able to speak with the data, so that people will be able to hear our voice.
The facilitators provided insightful informations ranging from different lecture sessions on standardization and uniformity of accounting preparations, also on the ethics of stakeholders in cooperative management.
Cooperative refers to a business enterprise, owned, capitalized, and patronized, while limited means that voluntary unite, pooling their scarce resources together, management same democratically, sharing risk and benefit of business, proportionate to patronage.
We do a lot of exercise, a lot of workshops, even in our meeting, in our monthly meeting. That is what we do, to enlighten ourselves, to how to bring our unions, our societies from grass to grace.
The seminar indeed gladdened the heart of participants in attendance, confirming increase in their learning capacity.
Being a manager, one way or the other, we have acquired knowledge before. But we want to meet up with the standard of the accounting principle.
We need the uniformity whereby when we get to one union and another union, what is applicable in union A may be applicable to union B in terms of accounting.
An interactive session where questions were responded to was also conducted at the end of the training. The theme of the one-day seminar is adopting basic principles and practices in cooperative management. Komisola Shokoya, OGTV News.
Rotarian Abeokuta Shobogun has been installed as Charter President of Rotary Club of Rock City. Ayodeji Oluwumi reports that the new president assured of relentless efforts at advancing commitment to diversity, equity, inclusion, and expanding reach to the whole world. His report.
The investiture ceremony of Rotarian Abeokuta Shobogun as the chartered president also witnessed the induction of new members into Rotary Club of Rock City. Guest speaker of the occasion, Prince Boyega Nasiru Isiaka, speaking on the theme, Selflessness for a Better World, said the topic is apt and germane, especially at a time when the world needs humanity services.
The theme of this event is an intriguing and inspirational conversation. It comes at the heart of what is most needed in our society in particular and in the world at large. Most of the antisocial vices perpetrated by individuals and groups all over today will not be there if you have people that are selfless.
In his acceptance speech, Rotarian Abeokuta Shobogun promised his best as he captains the ship of the Rotary Club of Rock City for the next 1 year.
Club presidents require a lot of tasks. You need to double up your efforts. If you have been doing 1 or 2, 3 projects for the community, you have to increase it. And all what we do in Rotary is that we want to serve humanity. We want to give back to the world that built us. We want to ensure that we have a better world for everybody to live. We want to ensure that we provide basic education for the community. We want to ensure that we help people in terms of disease prevention and treatment.
Chairman of the occasion, Engineer Shola Adeyemi, reiterated trust in the leadership of Rotarian Abeokuta Shobogun.
I advise somebody who has been doing the job, because this is just formality. They've been on it for some time, and you can see the number of past presidents that are here. So that means it must have been under tutelage for some time. So the only thing I would just advise is that it should keep in the pace of these predecessors and also try to up the game.
Donations were made towards the project of the Rotary Club of Rock City. Ayodeji Oluwumi, OGTV News.
The Federal High Court in Lagos has stopped President Muhammadu Buhari and the National Broadcasting Commission (NBC) from revoking the licenses of 52 broadcast stations in the country and shutting down the stations for allegedly failing to renew their licenses. Honorable Justice Akintayo Aluko granted an order of interim injunction following the hearing of an argument on motion expertise by Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project (SERAP) and Nigerian Guild of Editors (NGE). SERAP and NGE had last week filed a lawsuit against Buhari and NBC asking the court for a declaration that Section 10A of the third schedule to the NBC Act used by NBC to threaten and revoke the licenses of 52 broadcast stations and to shut down the stations is unconstitutional and unlawful as it violates freedom of expression. In the suit, SERAP and NGE had asked the court for an order of interim injunction restraining Buhari and NBC, their agents, from revoking the licenses of 52 broadcast stations in the country and shutting down their operations pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice filed contemporaneously in this suit. The suit is adjourned to 8th September 2022 for the hearing of the motion on notice for interlocutory injunction. The suit followed the decision by the NBC to revoke the licenses of the 52 broadcast stations and shut down their operations within 24 hours over alleged 2.6 billion naira debt. The Japan External Trade Organization, the Japan International Cooperation Agency, and the United Nations Development Program, plus the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, have launched a new partnership to enhance trade and investment between Japanese and Africa private sector businesses. The partnership is coming at a time a Tokyo Conference on Africa's Development is holding in Tunis, Tunisia. Supporting Africa in becoming an increasingly important business partner is set to be essential for sustainable development at a time when foreign direct investment in 2021 reached a record $83 billion, a 2.1-fold increase from about $39 billion in 2022. Chairman and CEO of JETRO, Shea, says the expanded partnership between four cubed partners, JICA, UNDP and UNIDO, all enable them to enhance their contributions to Africa's sustainable development path, join forces with three strong and committed partners at a time when Africa, like all countries in the world, need to urgently rethink their industrialization outreach towards greener and more inclusive growth at a time of growing climate and economic shocks. As a global leader in information and digital technologies, the partners agreed to work together to strengthen cooperation between small and medium enterprises in Africa with Japanese technologies and business know-how. Other areas of cooperation include regular dialogues, consultations and joint communications, as well as advocacy activities. For the UNDP to strengthen economic recovery, a swift and adequate response is required, including on an urgent scale-up in dynamic and innovative partnerships for Africa's development. This new collaboration builds on the achievements of the tripartite partnership between JICA, JETRO, and UNDP, which was signed at TICAD 7 in Yokohama, Japan in 2019. Ogun State government has sealed off a gas plant Sun Contractors Project Services Limited near Redemption Camp on the Redeemed Christian Church of God along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, where an explosion occurred early Monday morning on August 29. Leading the inspection team to the scene of the explosion was the Commissioner for Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Olufemi Ilori Odunton, accompanied by a special assistant to the Governor Adewale Aka and the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Dr. Rotimi Olu Akinlesi. Bomi Adegun was at the scene of the gas explosion. He now reports.
A gas explosion along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway close to the Redemption Camp of the Redeemed Christian Church around 12 in the afternoon inside a gas station, but the cause still very sketchy. Gas wasted, vehicles burnt, little bruises, but no life lost. Commissioner for Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Olufemi Ilori Odunton, was quick to arrive the scene, accompanied by the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Rotimi Olu Akinlesi, and Special Assistant to the Governor on Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Adewale Aka, to inspect the level of damage.
I've seen a lot of challenges that we have to be on top of the game, because this thing, we thank God that it didn't turn to a disastrous one, and we thank God that no lives, was involved. And this place, we don't actually know, we don't have any information.
Sun Contractors Project Services Limited sighting of the gas station around that area was queried, even when the administration officer reluctantly gave an account of what caused the inferno, and the company was sealed on the spot.
Assess what happened there and to chart a way forward so that we don't experience this again. So we're not here to all these, you tell us what happened so that we can know what to do next.
Who's your name first?
I was in the office.
Okay, your name?
Your name first.
My name is Marvels. I was in the office.
Your designation.
What do you do here?
Admin officer.
Okay, admin officer. Okay.
So I was at the office, I had a blast, and I left the premises.
Around what time?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure you will not know if you are the same person in my shoes. I was in panic. I had to run for my life.
Because we've been asking the
admin
manager, and no information was given. So there's nothing we can do now than to seal up this place for further investigation.
Many thanks to the newly built fire stations with state-of-the-art equipment across the states, with the one at Moweibafo coming to the rescue to prevent the escalation of the explosion. Also, officers of the Redeemed Christian Church Fire Service were also helpful and were appreciated accordingly for their support to stop the fire. Bumi Adigun, OGTV News.
The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps in Cross River State has foiled an attempt to vandalize a pipeline of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited at a tank farm in Calabar. The commandant of the NSCDC in Cross River State, Mr. Samuel Fadeyi, paraded the suspect identified as Gabriel Ajom on Monday in Calabar, during which he said the suspect was arrested on August 26, 2022. The suspect is a security guard attached to a moribund tank farm, Metal Energy and Gas, where the pipeline was connected to. Items recovered from the site of the incident included a shovel, connecting pipes, buckets, and knives. Further, he explained that the suspect was arrested by his men who were on surveillance patrol along with the maintenance unit of Lati J Company, a private company that monitors pipelines in the state. He said during the surveillance, they noticed a small collapsed hole around the area, suggesting that there was a pit in between. According to him, the act was committed by a cartel. He noted that the NSCDC personnel would also arrest those at large. Further, he also said the owners of the tank farm must have permitted the illegal act, adding that it took a month to dig the pit to breach the NNPC pipeline. He said the distance of the tunnel to the NNPC pipeline was about 100 meters, adding that the suspects had already finished the digging and were waiting to connect their own pipe to the NNPC pipeline. The Kogi State government, through the Ministry of Solid Minerals and Resources, has directed a total stoppage of illegal mining in the state. The directives followed the deaths of 2 persons in an illegal mining site after the site collapsed at Ika, Agboyaga in Ankpa local government area. The names of the deceased were given as Amodu and Ata. They died on Saturday, 28th August 2022 at about 4:20 p.m. when the mining site collapsed. A statement signed by the Kogi State Commissioner for Solid Minerals and Natural Resources, Engineer Bashiru Gegu, stated that all legal operators should henceforth register with the Ministry of Solid Minerals and Natural Resources to enhance peace and criminal-free sites. The government expressed worry over the activities of some unknown operators in mining sites and advised them to register with the Ministry of Solid Minerals and Natural Resources to ascertain the genuine miners. The statement said failure to adhere to the directive, the state government will close down the erring mining operators and sites. Up next is business news with Bukola.